why you should not buy a house that is being sold as is. That's what I'm talking about today, so stay tuned. Hi, this is Melissa Ballman, and I'm a real estate agent here in the greater Salt Lake City area. So what that means, if you're looking at making a real estate move, I'd love to connect with you. Shoot me a text, send me an email, do what you got to do, but get in touch with me. But first, today I'm going to talk about homes that are being sold as is. We're seeing it a lot more, and especially in price points $400,000, $500,000. And I'm going to talk specifically to first-time home buyers, why you should stay away from them, and things to consider even if you are not a first-time home buyer when it comes time to as-is properties. Okay, so as-is properties. Now, a lot of times you're seeing them listed and comments made that says the home is being sold as is and priced as such. So what that means is the seller is stating they're not going to do any repairs to the home. They're not going to do any updating. And they may not even do any negotiating on the price because they feel they've priced it to adequately reflect the condition that it's in and the sales price that they're asking for. Now, that's not always the case, and it's not the end all be all, even if it's listed that way on the MLS. I have helped clients that the MLS stated that the home was being sold as is, but the seller still ended up coming back and negotiating with us a little bit on the sales price based off the inspection. But if you are a first-time home buyer, you are limited on the funds that you have. You're getting an FHA loan, anything like that. I'm going to talk about why it may not be a good idea to look at an as-is property for you. So if you are a first-time home buyer or you're getting an FHA loan, FHA loans are going to require certain safety things on a home. So if an appraiser flags things like a broken window, missing handrails, things like that, those items have to be fixed before you can close. So unless you're going to make those improvements out of your pocket as a buyer, don't count on the fact that the seller will do those repairs in order for an FHA home loan to go through. So I know I said FHA loan, but that also stands true for VA loans as well. But we're seeing more and more loan programs where conventional home loans are working for first-time home buyers, where maybe they're putting 5% down or 7% or 10% and still getting a conventional loan. Here is why I still would caution you on those things. If you have limited funds, meaning you're using your savings and you don't have the wiggle room to make repairs, that's a red flag for you that you may want to pass and look at other properties. Because in this example, let's say you spend $400, $500 on a home inspection and it uncovers something that is major or needs immediate repairs, and you don't have the funds to make those repairs. Let's say, the deck is in bad condition and almost falling down. And it's going to cost you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 more after closing to repair that deck. Well, if you're coming in at $20,000 or $25,000 down and closing costs, and you have no money left, and you end up having to cancel your contract, well, you just lost the $400 or $500 you spent in inspection fees, and you can't recoup that. Now you're going to the next house, and you're going to have to do it all over again. Now, another thing to consider is, depending on the condition of the home and what work needs to be done, you still may need to add permitting expenses on top of that. Let's say there's electrical issues that are outdated and you need to do all new electrical, well, you're going to have to hire an electrician. In the state of Utah, you cannot do electrical work without a specific electrical license. Now, of course, changing out a light switch or a plate, that's probably a little bit different. But if you're doing anything in sub panels and rewiring and things like that, you're going to need a licensed electrician, and that licensed electrician should be pulling a permit. And if they're not, that's a red flag for you as well. Now, with that comes the fact that maybe you have the cash and you're not afraid to take on an as-is home because you have more money in savings, so you can take on any of those repairs or updates or anything like that. Those are typically going to be investors and things like that. But let's say you're in that position. The other thing you need to consider is, can you live with it for months on end and still either live in the house or live outside of that house that you're purchasing? Because contractors are so busy. So there's no guarantee that you're going to get a contractor in there right away to do the necessary repairs for an as-is home. So you may have to be carrying a mortgage in a home that you can't purchase or that you can't live in after you purchase, and you may still be paying rent somewhere else. Now, of course, it all depends on the condition of the home that you're buying when it's being sold as is, and if you can temporarily live in there with the condition it's in. So there's always a lot to consider when it comes to as-is homes, and it's a case-by-case basis, buyer-by-buyer basis, seller-by-seller basis. So there's really no perfect answer for everybody, and that's why you want a trusted real estate agent on your side to help advise you on those scenarios. I hope you enjoyed my video today. If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you're alerted each week when I drop a new video. If you have questions real estate related, I'd love to connect with you. Feel free to reach out to me, but as always, make it a great day.